they are going to have a majority. They're going to be able to vote with the Bloc or the NDP, and even those soft conservatives that we've seen surface over the last little while, they're going to have some support from them as well. So we have a real problem ahead of us. Hi, this is Doug Sharp, host of the National Leadership Briefing, and this is the Midweek Touchpoint. Well, as you know, on the National Leadership Briefing and with all of our midweek touch points, we don't get hyperbolic. We don't raise our voice and light our hair on fire and run down Main Street when we have concerns about things. But this week, I do have some bad news and some good news to share with you. And it is something that I think is important to identify as an alarm bell situation, something we need to really be ringing the alarm bells about. And that is the return of Parliament. Parliament is going to be resuming on Monday, November the 22nd. Personally, I think that's a kind of a late date. I mean, it's not great that after you take a long election period cycle that it takes so long for parliamentarians to return to their seats and begin their work again. However, in this case, it's actually not such a bad idea because that will give us time to prepare for what's coming. The bad news is that when that session resumes, there is going to be a Liberal government resuming control of the parliamentary agenda, and we are going to see all of those bills that we had concerns with before come back into the House of Commons. They're going to be given new numbers. They're not necessarily going to have the same numbers. Like, remember, Bill C6. Bill C6 was a bill, the conversion therapy bill. That bill was a nightmare. That really is a piece of legislation that is quite amazingly flawed, yet it will return. It'll have a new number, but it will be the same piece of legislation. It might even be a little worse than it was before, but that's coming back. We've also got Bill C10 to do with internet content and government control of the internet and our ability to share and express ourselves on social media platforms. And we also have Bill C36, which, well, I tell you, that is the Minority Report Thought Crime Division of Government launching out into space and getting ready to control us all. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be over the immediate road ahead. We're going to be reminding you of these things, not because we want to ruin your day. We don't want to just we don't want to like bring a cloud over all the sunshine that's piled up in your life. But we have between now and November 22nd to prepare to communicate effectively our concerns about these returning pieces of legislation. Now, hold on. I'm not getting hyperbolic, but it gets worse than that. We have a Liberal minority government in the House of Commons. Same thing as we had before. However, I just want to tell you, based on my experience and what I can see kind of lining up here, they are going to have the wholesome, complete support of the New Democratic Party. That's the Jagmeet Singh NDP party. They're going to have the support of that party, and they are going to have a majority. They're going to be able to vote with the Bloc or the NDP, and even those soft conservatives that we've seen surface over the last little while, they're going to have some support from them as well. So we have a real problem ahead of us, and I'm going to call it a problem. Some people dress it up and call it a challenge. This is a problem for us because we have to really effectively communicate our concerns and make our case on these pieces of legislation as to why we don't like them and why we need our members of parliament to vote against them when they return. So this is my encouragement to you: is do not miss the opportunity to align yourselves with us on the immediate road ahead as we lead up to November 22nd and prepare ourselves for this moment in time. Again, if you're sitting in your church or in your family, in your living room at home, and you're a mom or dad or something, and you don't think that these pieces of legislation are ultimately going to touch you and affect you and impact your life, then be concerned about all those other pieces of legislation that are coming in behind them, because it's only going to be darker and darker on the road ahead for people of faith here in Canada with the government that we have right now that has the support of the NDP and the Bloc in some cases, and of course those soft conservatives. So if we don't pay attention, then we're going to all of a sudden wake up one day and go, wait a second, what happened? And it's just going to be darker. So that's my encouragement: is don't close your eyes, don't put your head in the sand, don't run away, stay tight, tuck in, let's get close together. And what I'm going to do my very best to do is what we've been trying to do, is to provide you with the information that you need on the road ahead, immediate road ahead, so that you can prepare yourselves for those things that are coming down the road. And that, of course, happens by you going to the National Leadership Briefing website. That's at nlbcanada.ca. If you are not registered for the National Leadership Briefing, you don't receive any of the post notes. That's those notes that come in the mail by email after every briefing. If you're not registered, you're not going to get them. So get registered, make sure you receive the link to the briefing, and make sure you're getting those post notes, because we've got some problems on the road ahead, and that's the bad news. Now, here's the good news. Because I told you there was some bad news and some good news. We are launching out on a whole other project here, a series of projects actually, and we're actually launching out on some other platforms here, and we're going to be providing some daily information to people who want to hook up with us on Facebook or Rumble or YouTube or any of these other platforms, and we're going to make sure that we've got daily commentaries coming out shortly. Now, I don't have the exact schedule worked out yet, because the plan is just gelling now, but because these things are going to be coming so fast and so furious at us in the future, we need to connect more often. Now, again, I'm going to just put it out there. I'm going to serve it up on a plate for you, and you can eat off the plate anytime you want. But there are going to be daily updates that are going to be coming frequently to you, so that you can hear and see things that are happening as they're happening out there with regard to politics and government, is particularly on the national level. Right now, that's really where most of our challenges are, is with the national governing parties right now. So we're gonna do our very best to get more information to you about that, and to fulfill that good news segment for you. But in the meantime, let's not miss this opportunity to prepare for something we know is coming, we know is not good, and we know we can prepare for it, but we got to invest a little bit of time and energy in it on the immediate road ahead. Anyway, thank you so much for your time this week. I look forward to serving you on that road ahead. You know, that's what I want to do every time. I want to help. I definitely want to help, and I want to make it easier for you, but I need you to connect with me. So thank you so much for your time today. I look forward to serving you again soon. In the meantime, God bless you, God bless your family, and may God continue to bless this great nation of Canada. Bye for now. These are the things that we believe in. First, that parents have the right to raise their children the way they want. Second, that those we elect to serve us in civil government must respect and defend our right of belief and freedom of religion. Number three, that the laws and policies of civil government must provide for the safety and security of the citizens, especially the vulnerable among us. And number four, that it is inappropriate to heap debt upon the backs of our children and future generations. They came from you. They're your pillars. They're the things that you believe. That is good enough for us. That should be good enough for our elected representatives.